Hey, so some of the worst advice you could get as a software developer. So the worst career advice. This is something I want to talk about, something that's pretty vivid on my mind. Hopefully this will resonate with you. Um, and one thing, you maybe your parents might have taught you, or uh, phrases that, you'll get a job, you'll get in, and they'll train you how to do things, and then you'll do your job and be happy. Unfortunately, in software, it's a very different beast. There is a lot of information on the web that can teach you how to do things, but you still have to put all the pieces together in your head. I mean, there is no manual. When you graduate computer science school or you're self-taught, you're already off on you understand that you have to bang your head against the wall to learn some things and have those aha moments. Something as basic now as we look back on object-oriented programming, and you think that was the hardest paradigm in the world until the light bulb clicked on, and then it was all downhill from there. It's like, let me add all those programs. Um, one of the worst things that you'll hear is that, in my opinion, is that they will train you. That's not what happens in software. You have to learn this stuff yourself. You have to do it. You have to deliberately practice it until you become good, because even when you're good, there are so many people who are better than you, so you have to practice. And I'm not trying to discourage, but what I'm saying is that um, leaving things to leaving putting other people in charge of training you is probably not the best mindset for software development. And I can't speak to other professions because this is what I love to do, and I've been doing it for about 8 years, and that's which is relatively short versus a lot of other developers. Um, Waiting for someone to train you is the wrong thing. You could go find someone, they may not have the time, and you get the idea. So one example, when I was on a consulting gig, I was sitting next to someone fairly new to the consulting arm of like software development. So he comes in, and this is one of the things he said. He's pretty quick at what he did, but that's because he was told what to do and shown, what to do, and then you could operate within that. That's okay for coming straight into the profession, but you will soon find that that won't be the case um, if you want to have some fulfilling work and build something worthy that a client will gain value from. And that's the name of the game, is that we're trying to bring value to these clients. We have all these technical skills, take their business stuff and turn it into some sort of value. So here's the phrase, is that I'm paraphrasing, is how will I know what to do if you won't show me how to do it? And it sounds reasonable, it sounds fair, like sounds logical, but that is not how it works in software, especially if you're in with some competitive people. If you want to make a name for yourself, build value for a company, you'll have to grind through, and they're relying on your technical expertise to figure things out, for you to push yourself, rise to the challenge, and then figure things out and enjoy that journey if you can on your side. So really, there is no manual. You finish you're self-taught. You go to boot camp, dev boot camp. You go to computer science school. It's just the beginning. After that, it's all hard work, and you realize that early on in those journeys, or those paths of learning to be a developer. Um, Another thing I want to share with you is that I was at one job. It was actually before development, and I was talking to another analyst. It was me and that other person. That person was more seasoned, so I was learning from that person. I was, thinking that person will train me. They have to train me. Of course, they have to train me to get up to speed in the job. Well, after a while, the person was, has family, had to go home, had to get a lot of work done in those 8 hours, and had to be productive every day, every hour of every day. Didn't have time for long lunches and so on. So the thing that resonated with me, and you'll do your own version, is that he said, what would you do if I wasn't here? When I was just launching all these questions at him, when he was busy trying to finish something up, maybe before vacation, some sort of scenario. He He said, "What would you do if I wasn't here?" Um, and that really struck with me. And I did a complete 180, started to learn everything myself, taking the time, the extra time out of work to kind of gain some of those tools and skills so that you could open up doors for yourself and figure out other things. But just exploring around, you learn something, and then hey, that interests something else, or learn something else, and you understand that you start peeling back the layers of the onion and figuring out things. And that was another phrase that a friend of mine had used that really helped me understand things from a software architecture perspective early on in my career. So I guess what I'm trying to say is that bank on yourself. Rely on yourself to get these things done. Yeah, you can ask for help. Yeah, you can get up, show the initiative, and then come stand up time, you say, well, palms up, and you say, well, I tried, I need help, I need to pair with someone and take up some of their time. Well, in an ideal world, they'll have time for that, but those people have a lot of stuff to do too. So you have to bank on yourself, believe in yourself, and know that you'll get this done. Changing that mindset and knowing that in a weird way there's not going to be a lot of help for you particularly. I mean, there's people who can help you like with bits and pieces of information, but you have to synthesize it and turn it into something valuable so you can write that code and add value. That's something that you're going to have to figure out yourself. And I guess I just want to say that the worst advice that can, this overarching idea, and then things will branch off of, is that they will train you. Don't rely on that advice too much, and I say that strongly from experience. And I think you might find that the growth will come, maybe even the fulfillment, and additional fulfillment in your job. It's not going to be easy. It's why they do pay so well in software. And make sure that you take it in stride. Have a growth mindset is what we always think of, preach. But yeah, to me, that is the worst career advice that you could get as a software developer. So let me know if you agree. Put some comments below if you agree, if you don't agree. I'm always having a growth mindset, willing to learn from you guys, and put out these topics that I think is on every software developer's mind. So we'll talk to you next time.